Hello everybody. A huge welcome to my channel. I'm so excited to see you here. So this channel is all about the bit in the middle. And essentially the bit in the middle is a place that we find ourselves after the initial excitement of startup, when we've had all of the ideas, we've done all the training, we've got the skills, we've started putting everything in place, and then we start to ask, what's next? Now, the interesting thing about this phase is that there is a lovely stat out in the world that says only 23% of UK businesses actually move through what we call the bit in the middle. And this is the place which asks for staying power. It asks for resilience, it asks for commitment, and it asks you to show up and to do the work that's needed in order to enable you to move through growth. A number of years ago when I was at university, I was studying kind of organisational behaviour, and there is a concept that I learnt, and for some reason still remember it all these years later, and it's called forming, norming, storming and performing. And I just want to share this with you and hopefully give you a little bit of context. So originally when this was created, it was actually around teams, but I've literally spent my entire career kind of adapting it and then using it for lots and lots of different businesses I'm consulting with, for my one-to-one sessions, for my own businesses, and I absolutely love it. So I want the opportunity just now to talk you through it. So the first step is forming. Now, forming is very much like early startup stage. It's where we have the ideas, it's where we get excited, it's where we go and do all of the training, get the skills, we build the website, or we choose the platform we want to host our products or services, and we start. We tell people. It's all very, very exciting. And there is so much support out there for this particular phase, right? Now, the phase that then follows is that things then start to normalize. You start getting used to the fact that you have a business. You start getting used to the fact that you've created this product or service, that you're talking about it, that you're sharing. You've probably got customers in starting to pay you. And you've started to kind of sense that this thing that you are building can actually become more. And then what naturally happens next is that we then start to get stuck. We start to loop because we start asking, well, what more can I do? How can I drive more customers? How can I increase my visibility? Do I know enough about marketing? Oh, I don't really like marketing. I'd much rather be over here creating, right? I'm not sure what to do with my pricing. And so we start to feel kind of discombobulated. And this is really where we then start to enter what I call the storming phase. And storming is really where what staying power is built, is where deep roots are dug. It's where we take all the feedback that we have gained from that initial excitement, from the initial forming and norming stage, and we start to kind of like question it, and we start to really dig deep in terms of, is this something that's going to fit with the life that I'm building? Is this something that I actually want for myself? And if it is, what do I need to do to be able to show up in the world with this business, with this idea, with this product or service? And the bit in the middle, which is actually very, very similar to the storming phase, is a place we find ourselves in. It's a place where we return to actually ask ourselves all these questions. And it's really interesting because it kind of questions our identity. It looks at our worth. It looks at our courage and resilience, right? And are we actually showing up consistently and being persistent with the business that we want to build? And then what happens is that lots of people tend to kind of loop and get stuck in this area without doing the real work. And the real work is asking yourself these questions, showing up for yourself, putting the processes in place, getting real with yourself in terms of what investments needed to be able to grow your business, right? And then once you've stabilized in this phase, what happens is you then go out into the wild, as I call it, and your business starts to perform, which is really, really very exciting because that's where growth comes. That's where the hard work you have put in actually starts to come back to you so it can then sustain the life that you want for yourself. Now, what's important to know is that the bit in the middle is actually a place we return to often. It's where we can get uncomfortable, right? So if as you go through the growth phase, you suddenly realize that somebody's asking you for a new product or service, or you feel called to actually create something different, or maybe you want to explore your pricing because you suddenly realize that you're offering so much more, you'll then come back to the storming phase, back to the bit in the middle, and you'll start to then go through the motions of, well, what does this really look like? Can I actually hold something else that I'm now wanting? What work do I need to now do? And sometimes that will look like belief work. Sometimes that will look like looking at your energy and actually looking at whether your life is set up to sustain what you're wanting to build. Sometimes it's getting really true and real with yourself and actually going, well, are there things here that I've been doing that I may not necessarily want to do anymore? So I need to pop them down. And actually, if I divert my time and attention to this place, I'm going to benefit even more from it. Right? This is the work of the bit in the middle. And it's the bit that I absolutely love. And it's the last few years, I kind of realized that this is really my work. This is where I spend all my time with founders. It's when I step into a business as a fractional CMO or I'm consulting. It's always in the bit in the middle. And I think the reason we don't talk about it is because if only 21% of businesses move through this bit and actually understand what's really required, there isn't many people out there who are able to really talk about it. And for many stories and many reasons, and for all the t-shirts that I have, I'm very, very fortunate to be able to kind of talk about this with much confidence, with an awful lot of knowing, and the fact that I've actually built in this space as well. So welcome. I'm excited to see you here. Please let me know in the comments your thoughts, whether this resonates, whether you feel you're in where you are, the bit in the middle at the moment. And I will see you all very soon. Take care. Much love. Bye.